Everybody, let's talk about some of the safety things that you need to know if you have a lot of snow in your area, like New England, Minnesota, Canada, a lot of those northern states and countries. If you look up here, you're going to see a lot of snow up there. If you see all that snow right up top right there, all of that comes right down, and when it comes down like a ton of cinder blocks, and it will kill you if you're underneath it. Now, a lot of times you're going to see a lot of icicles that go along here. If those fall, those can also hurt you very, very badly. So you always got to make sure that you look out for roofs, any type of snow drifting, snowfalls. Whenever you have a lot of snowfall, you got to look at your vehicle and make sure that your tailpipe is not covered in snow. We got a lot of snow here. And if you do have a clogged tailpipe, that can cause carbon monoxide poisoning, and you don't want to do that, and it can hurt your vehicle. So be very careful about that. When you're driving, you got to look out for snow on the ground, because you got to be really careful, because you are not going to stop like you typically would, and you're probably not going to anticipate you sliding either. So drive really, really slow. Make sure that you have all-wheel drive. Don't ever take for granted that you will do okay. If you have a split system like this, a heat pump, you got to make sure that you clear all the snow around from it. You got to make sure you have air flowing across the coils. That's how you use electricity and reverse the cycle for a heat pump. If it is covered, you're not going to get airflow, and therefore you will not get heat. So make sure that you take care and you get this off of the ground and you clear all the snow away from it. Another thing you got to look out for is you got to make sure you got to clear the snow off your roof. If you have a lot of snow on your roof, there can be a lot of integrity issues. That to do is make sure that you clean it off. It's really important. Plus, with the eaves, you got to make sure that you scrape the eaves off, because what happens is that the water will run off on the eave. It'll actually freeze on the eave because it has no heat below it, and then it'll start to collect water back up underneath the shingles. If you have a shingled roof, it'll go into your house and cause a lot of damage. If you take nobody else's advice except this advice, make sure that this is the advice that you always take. See all of your venting? This is venting for pellet stove. That is venting for my boiler. You got to make sure that it is out of the way of the snow. The snow is not near it. You cannot let that get clogged, because that can cause carbon monoxide poisoning, and it can kill you. So, and I don't need to be a scaremonger, but it's true, and you got to make sure this is clear. So whenever you do install boilers and you're in a high snow area, you got to make sure you get it off the ground, get it away from snow drift areas. Up there I actually have a diverter, and you got to make sure you stay safe. And last but not least, you're going to have to shovel snow. When you do it, use your back, not your legs. Wait, reverse that. Use your legs, not your back. And be very careful. Keep proper form. Stay warm. And I hope that these hints were helpful to everybody. And I hope to see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.